All right. Try this one more time. Mic check, mic check, mic check. More the Masters podcast show is made, of course, man. First and foremost, I want to shout out all listeners, supporters, everybody who shared the podcast last week, the week before that, everybody who's been commenting on the YouTube, everybody who's been sharing the reels, liking the IG posts, liking the stories, sharing it today's story, man. It's been an amazing amount of support the last couple of weeks. Not that it's never been before, but just I've seen a growth in the amount of support from the last couple of weeks. And I don't know if it's because people that I've had on, including myself, my brother, Miss Tiana Bias, were people that you guys have requested to have on. So if that's the case, then I'll definitely try to, make sure I listen to you guys more often with having certain guests on. So I'll go back to that post that I posted a while back where I got about 40 names on there, people I want on the podcast. But I definitely seen a immense amount of support from all over, whether it's Instagram, Snapchat, the More Than Masters page, my personal Facebook page. I've seen a great deal of support, and I definitely want to thank you guys for that. So clap it up for y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? Clap it up for y'all. Big round of applause for you guys, man. Means a lot to me every time, every week. Even when it's a little bit, it means a lot to me. And also when it's a lot, it means a lot to me. So it keeps me going. It makes me, realize that what I'm doing is important, and it's important to somebody out there. Regardless if it's one person or if it's 20 or 200 or 2,000, I just like to know that what I'm doing is not going unnoticed and people are enjoying the content I'm putting out. So definitely clap it up for you guys, man. Always, every week. I want to start with something soulful. I got some soul. I changed my buttons around, so I want to play with it. I'm not gonna lie to you. So we're gonna start with some Jamie Foxx, some soulful stuff. Just a couple of seconds, not many. You know what I'm saying? Oh God, Jamie Foxx singing Brady Bunch is like my favorite thing in the world. I'm not gonna lie to you. I wish I could play the piano and then sing. I would do that every night. I promise to you. That's some soul right there. No, come on. We gotta clap it up for Jamie. Come on. Oh, button's over. I'll be thinking about the YouTube video. But man, but shout out to you guys for real. Having my brother on was amazing. To have that full circle moment. That was my first ever guest on More Than the Masters. We did episode 3 times. I picked the third one, which is a phone interview, which is insane. But we did it one time in person in Augusta, one time in person in Cali, and then we did it one time, and I called him. He's at JUCO, Alabama, and I saved the over the phone interview, and that's what I went with. That was my first ever More Than a Masters episode. So to have it come full circle, to him go through his trials and tribulations and his successes, his ups, his downs, his failures, and him overcoming a lot of them things and kind of getting back on his feet and doing something he loves to do again, and to have him sit down and kind of talk about some of those down moments from the athlete's point of view was amazing. And I learned some things about him that I didn't know. And then I was able to get clarity on some things that he might have been going through that I wasn't privy to at the time. But I also think, and I try to make every episode informative. I think that current athletes, former athletes, current coaches, former coaches, parents of athletic student athletes rather, they all can learn from that, because there's things that I know that I could have done better. There's things that I feel like my mom probably could have did better. We could have handled some situations better. Some coaches could have done better. Or coaches could have drew back at some point. And you start to realize, like, okay, well, it's more than just it not working out. It was a bunch of different decisions being made that kind of sometimes hinders someone to get into that next level. So a lot of times we're like, well, why this person didn't do good in college? Like, why they didn't score this amount of points? Why they didn't do this? And then sometimes it's not even about the statistics. It's not about, what they couldn't do on the court as much as it's about the decisions made off the court. And it's not only just the athlete, it's about the athlete's, parents and what his surroundings is like, what his relationship with the coaches is like, what his attitude is like, what his mindset is like, where's he at mentally. And I think a lot of those things came out in the interview. If you break it down and really piece it up, like, I think it's a very, very, very great piece of work. And honestly, I give him a lot of credit for talking, because my brother's not a talker. You know what I'm saying? He's naturally like a, yeah, oh, yeah, right, kind of guy. Like, so for him to open up and talk, I think we did it at the right time. I think we did it at the right moment in his career, his life. And I hope, we can do it we can do more often, because it's a lot of things we still didn't touch on, or we didn't expound on. And I think that him coming back, for next time and just to break some things down is very, very informative and very it'll be influential to a lot of student athletes. So shout out to him. And then definitely the next day, so I did that on, I think I did that on Sunday night. Sunday morning, I'm at Miss Tiana Bias I'm at her office at the Bias firm. Shout out to the Bias firm, by the way, you know what I'm saying? And that was also another informative interview that honestly, I didn't know what to expect going into it because lawyers are typically very smart, very informative, talkative to say the least, because they do this on a regular basis. But I didn't go in there like wanting to get her life story per se. We kind of got right to law. What this mean? You know what I'm saying? What's some challenges you have? What's the difference between this and that? And I think just her knowledge of the law on a fly like that. I didn't give her a list of questions. She didn't ask me for a list of questions. She didn't say, hey, come in with this. It was no holds barred. We talked or whatever. And she didn't turn down no questions. I didn't have to edit nothing out that she said that was wrong or anything like that. And it was all on cue. So shout out to Miss Tiana Bias as well, because I feel like people can also learn from her because this is a young black woman. You know what I'm saying? It's a young black woman with her own firm. You know what I'm saying? And didn't always have the mindset to do law. So it wasn't something that she always had her eyes set on. It's something that just she kind of stumbled upon and kind of went into it. So I definitely commend her for her wealth of knowledge that she gave and just to know her stance on a lot of things, whether it's the YSL case, whether it's just the politics in Augusta, whether it's the courtroom in Augusta, whether, she's available to be shadowed. I think young women that want to be attorneys should go ahead and shadow her for a day. I hear she's amazing in the courtroom. Didn't get to see it yet, but I plan to eventually. So definitely just want to shout out all my last little bit of guests. And then shout out to Maine, really, really, chill out. What y'all laughing for? Shout out to Maine, man. I want to first and foremost say this, man. I do not apologize, right, for anybody that I have came at within the last month or so when it comes to this creating and my my comments towards you. Some people may feel like I came up to them as harsh. You was too rough, man. Like, you said this, that kind of hurt my feelings. I do not apologize. I do not. It comes a time where, I try my best to be a voice of reason. I try my best to be very understanding. I try my best to understand that, everybody really don't have the same 24 hours. If you're looking at it in a sense of quantity, like minutes, like how many hours are in a minute, how many minutes are in an hour, then yeah, I guess everybody got the same. But I mean, like, your 24 hours may look different from mine because you may have to, run cross town and get your kids and run cross town back to do this and then run cross back town. I might have to do all that. I might have a nice little system. So my 24 hours might run a little smoother than yours. I'm not saying I do. I'm just saying that's the case. And I'm trying to be cognizant of that as well. Like, okay, maybe they can't do this. But then sometimes it's like people got they can call. They can talk on the phone for 2-3 hours to this person, 2 hours to that person, 45 minutes to that person. It's like, well, that's why you couldn't get nothing done. You on the phone too much. Or, they want to nap here. Well, that's why you can get nothing done. You want to nap too much. So I be cognizant of the fact that everybody don't have the same 24 hours. But at the same time, I feel like if you're in this space and you want to be in this content space and you want to be consistent, and you want to, bother me. Don't bother me. But if you want to bother me, I want you to be as dedicated as I am. That's the only way I only want to help people that's dedicated. If you're not dedicated to your craft or what you're doing, I don't want to be a part of nothing you got going on. Like, I want to be a part of dedication. If you're not dedicated, I don't be a part of nothing you got going on. Real quick, man, shout out to y'all, man. Go buy my brother's t-shirt, man. Don Coleman, summer workout sessions, lock in, all right? Speaking of lock in, dedication, lock in. Like, I want you to be locked in to whatever it is you're doing. And I think that's the problem that I've seen with a lot of people is like, they refuse to lock in. I don't know if that's like a button or a trait that people have that they can lock in, but people will not lock in. They can't lock in with consistency. They can't lock in with quality content. They can't lock in with quantity. They can't lock in with brainstorming. They can't lock in with planning. They can't lock in with pre-planning. They can't lock in with post-production. They can't lock in with pre-production. They can't lock in with networking. They can't lock in with just trying. Like, it's all these things that people just refuse to lock in with, dedicate themselves to doing this. Even if it's one thing. I just named 10 things, I think, because I use 10 fingers, so hopefully I use 10 things. Right? Relax. Come on, chill. But I use 10 fingers. It's so many things you can choose to dedicate your time to and lock into that it's hard for me to really continue. For years, I've been, and for some people, it's years. I've been like kind of like, nice with like, yo, all right, do that. Oh, I did this instead. Okay, cool. I'm still trying to be that friend or that person. But at some point, it's like, you know what? You lazy, dog. You lazy. Like, you lazy. You're not dedicated. You don't care. You don't put your best foot forward. I don't know what foot is your best foot, honestly, because I've never seen your best foot forward. You know what I'm saying? Like, it become a time where you start to look and you're like, damn, you know what? I can no longer be this kind of friend where it's like, or this kind of supporter where I'm like coddling and being nice and being understanding to all the excuses that you're giving. I have to be the friend that's telling you like, yo, you might just want to just don't do it, bro. Like, why not? Just stop. Whatever creation you're doing. I don't care if you do poetry. I don't care if you do music, if you rapping, if you sewing, if you do clothes, if you do artwork, if you sing, if you draw, if you podcast. You know what I'm saying? If you take pictures, if you filming, I don't care what it is you're doing. At some point, I as a person I am and as dedicated and consistent I am what I'm doing, I can no longer be around that type of creator or lack thereof that isn't dedicated to what they're doing. Like, and dedication don't mean, hey, I've been thinking about doing this. I'm cool. You brainstormed. I'm cool with that. Let's put pen to paper, right? But then let's also put plan to action. That sounded good, right? Let's put plan to action. Don't just, how about you send me a clip of a pilot or something you're doing. Send me a clip of, send me some photography work you've done. Send me you rapping in the car on this beat. Let me hear how that sounds. Send me, a rough draft of this reel you're trying to make. Send me something tangible that's telling me, we putting plan to action. Because those are the type of people I want to be around. Because at the end of the day, and I'm not saying this is the case, but in the creative space, at the end of the day, if I'm in a creative space where I'm the person that's like the most consistent, or I don't know, the lead, the lead runner, or the person that's in charge, or person that's ahead, number one person, I don't want to be that person because I don't feel like I'm where I want to be at yet. So I'm consistently trying to get better. I'm consistently trying to better my craft, better my audio, better my visual. You know what I'm saying? Change up things how I'm doing. Putting out different types of content. Let's see if they like this. Let's see if they like this. I put out episode, or I put out a little snippet with my daughter the other day. People, like, they ate that up. I be forgetting that people like that father-daughter combo, but I also don't want to drag it out because that's not what I base my content off of. But that be real life. So I put that out. Cool. Let's go ahead and make that, a little something here and there. And I try my best to try to engage as many people as I can. So I get my brother. I do the sports. Boom. I get Miss Tiana Bias. Defense attorney Tiana Bias. I get the law and involved, and just people that are from that realm. Okay, boom. I do my thinking out loud. People love that. So I try to switch it up, and I throw things at you. Okay, cool. Do something with my daughter. People love that. Daddy-daughter relationships, sports, criminal justice, thinking out loud. So I'm trying to put all these different things out, and I got more things in the works that I'm trying to interview. I did the E.J. Rogers outside downtown. Boom, put that out. People that like comedy, they want to just laugh. 25 minutes of that, cool. And I say that to say, like, if I'm thinking that way, and I still, right now, with all I just said, I still feel like I'm not doing enough. I feel like I can do more. I want to do more. I want to podcast all day, 24/7 if I can, and just edit and put out clips 24/7 if I can, but I can't. So I got to make the best of my time, the best of my 24 hours. I can't be around or mingling or touching elbows, because that shit be contagious. That laziness is contagious. Niggas be yawning. You start getting tired, like, whoa, I got to edit. I got to film. I got to do this. I got kids I got to take care of. I got a job I got to go to. I don't have time to be getting tired. So it's like you have to protect what's around you. Your surroundings, your energy, right? And with that being said, I can't really be around people who aren't headstrong enough to not be told, hey, you have to be consistent, to not be told, hey, you have to be dedicated. This is not something I should be saying to anybody, like, and it's news. This should be something that, like, it's like you just know. Like waking up and brushing your teeth. If y'all, I don't know. Everybody don't brush their teeth. So I don't know. Right? I don't know. Right? Everybody don't brush their teeth, man. But, you know, it should be something as simple as you turn the knob to open the door. You know you gotta do that, right? You know, somebody putting the key in, crank the car up. You know you gotta do that. You wanna stop in the car, you press the brake. You know you gotta do that. You know what I'm saying? You coughing, you cover your mouth. You know you gotta do that. You sneeze, you cover your mouth. You know you gotta do that. Somebody sneeze, you say bless you. You know you gotta do that. That's how easy a lot of this stuff, not easy, but that's how common a lot of this stuff should be. Dedication. I want to be dedicated. Cool. Brainstorming. Cool. Plan the action. Cool. Put something out. Cool. Think of ways to be different. Cool. These are all things that should come second nature. It shouldn't be something that you hearing it for the first time now. You're like, yo, he's spitting. Like he would. No, like if what I'm saying and you would like is super inspiring right now, you behind. Like, and I'm gonna be that guy from now on with certain people. Like you just behind. So I do not apologize for like, coming off as, someone who feel like people not working hard enough. Because at this point, I'm at the point where now, like, if you're new to what you're doing, cool. But I'm gonna give you everybody a time limit because at the end of the day, I'm not gonna, slow my time down or stop what I'm doing or, I have arguments over creating. Or why you can't? I gotta go record. I wanna record. I wanna do this. Like I will fight for my time to create because I know how I feel when I create. I know how it feels when I put out content. I know how it feels to get that content received and recepted in a certain way. And I know how me putting out content, how it helps, whether it's the community, but how it shapes the way people view the community. And then the people that are intertwined with the podcast, whether it's a guest, whether it's just a loyal listener, that it matters to those people, how they look on the pod when they come on, you know what I'm saying? They wait for me to drop a podcast this Monday or Thinking Out Loud this Tuesday or episode with this, whatever. People are looking and waiting for those things, so I can no longer be the person that's like, oh, yeah, okay, you're going to do that, cool, let's talk about. If you're not doing plan to action, leave me alone. I want plan to action from now on. Plan to action. Plan to action, all right? And so my last Thinking Aloud was about just that, like having plan to action. I want, people to realize like, yeah, we don't all have the same 24 hours, but we got 24 hours, okay? Dedication sometimes dedication is intertwined with sacrifice, okay? Sometimes dedication is intertwined with sacrifice. So because I'm dedicated, I might sacrifice a couple of hours of sleep because I want to make sure I edit this and put it up. I want to sacrifice 2 hours of sleep because I want to make sure that I got everything right that I need to film, right? I want to go scope out some scenery that I want to film at, right? I want to do some research on a person because I'm interviewing them tomorrow. So instead of going to sleep right now and just popping up to the interview, maybe I'll go ahead and do my due diligence, research, take my screenshot, write some notes for just an hour, some change. I might lose some sleep. I'm going to sacrifice some sleep because I'm dedicated. Dedicated is sometimes intertwined with sacrifice, right? Being determined is sometimes intertwined with dedication and sacrifice. So some of these things kind of mix and mingle with each other. So I named 10 things. I ain't going back to what I named because it's off the top of my head. Thinking aloud, just thinking aloud. But definitely, I want to be around more people like that just do. They just do. Like, oh, I'm going to do this. Cool. Send it to me when you're done. Oh, that's dope. You should do more like that. Okay, cool. And they do more like that. I mean, damn, it could all be so simple. Hit the button, man. Stop playing. But yeah, man. That's my gripe on the media, and I just can't. I'm not gonna apologize for pushing people to do better. I'm not gonna apologize for pushing people to want to be consistent, especially people that complain about support or lack thereof, or complain when things ain't going the way they wanted to go, when they put something out, or complain that they're not getting enough views or followers or listenings or it ain't working here. Shout out to my boy, I love you, Jace. I think he had posted the other day, like, I got to try something different, another thing. And I seen him post on Snapchat, then I seen him post on Facebook, then I seen him post on Twitter. And I'm amazed by that. I like that. Like, let's try different things, you know what I'm saying? Put a new song out. Not a full song, but just rapping on something. I like to hear that, something fresh, something new. All right, cool. What come next now? Now we're gonna start, hitting them with this, hitting them with that. Now I know older music. We're gonna continue to make new music and new 16 bars here and a new 16. I like that. I like that. Like I like it. So I know somebody else like it, and just things like that, man. I'm sorry, I be rambling, but when it comes to like the content and I feel like if you love what you're doing, you're gonna do it. Even when I work, even at work, like working wise, like whether it was my last company or the company I'm at now, like you if you like what you do, you're gonna always kind of go above and beyond. And sometimes above and beyond, it's dedication. Sometimes above and beyond, it's determination. It's sacrifice. Yeah, I might sacrifice leaving on time because I want to get this done so that next night I ain't gotta do X, Y, Z. So I might go ahead and do that. You know what I'm saying? That's determination. That's that dedication. You might be dedicated to your job and do X, Y, Z. And that's the thing. Even if you're not dedicated to your job, sometimes you still stay over. You know what I'm saying? You're sacrificing not leaving on time. You're sacrificing the rest of your day being behind for your job that maybe you're not dedicated to or you don't love, so to speak, or you're not like head over heels for, but then people won't do it for what they love to do, if they really love to do it. It's to the point where sometimes I be wanting to second guess whether y'all love. I'm not gonna lie. I'm going too hard again. That was the last episode, man. This is different. That was 103, man. This 104, man. All right. But y'all gotta chill. Like I really be questioning people's love for what they do. I really be questioning people's love for what they do, or what they want to do in life, or where they want to be in life, or they plan to succeed in life. I really be doubting it. I second guess it. It's hard for me to believe it because your actions be showing me that that's not really what you want to do. I look at what people really go hard for, what people really put their all into, what people really are successful at, what people like, the time and energy they put they mind, body, and soul into, like what gets them passionate, what grinds their gears, what grinds their emotions, what gets them pumped up and hype. I look at all of those things and I say, damn, none of that is with this. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so what you want me to do? Like, none of that is with this thing you trying to create, a thing you do. I don't see none of that here. I see it here. I see you crying over that. I see you, you feel the way about that. I see you dedicated to this, but I don't see none of that stuff here with this that you're talking about you love to do and you want to do, and this is what you really want to do. And go back to my brother episode, this is somebody who, like I said, he played basketball to sun up to sundown. He is not in the NBA, okay? He is not a professional basketball player right now, okay? And this is somebody who, a top-ranked player in the state of Georgia, top-ranked player in the country at one point, got heavy accolades of what he does, and isn't a professional at what he did playing basketball-wise, right? And you take all the work that went into what he was doing and all the work that went into just getting to where he got to, and that was a lot of work. And he still isn't a professional basketball player. So think about the amount of work that was put in. Think about the passion. Think about somebody having a love-hate relationship with just like basketball and failure. Like, I'm not going to fail at basketball. So think about that. Think about these kids not having a backup plan because they are so invested in plan A, which is NBA, professional basketball player, NBA, professional basketball player. And you take all the work they put in, the time they wait for their family, traveling, basketball nonstop during the summer, basketball nonstop during the school year. Losing some of their high school years, like maybe, not being able to do things their friends was doing, like the sacrifices they made, the dedication they had, the determination they had. You know what I'm saying? The time they couldn't nap, they wanted to nap, they couldn't nap. Think about all of that, and he's still, people like him are still not professional basketball players. So I want you to take that in consideration and think, okay, well, if somebody that gave they all still, couldn't reach that level or isn't at that level, and they did all of that, how can I just do this and be here? That's what I want to take from this. Like, how can I just do bare minimum stuff and make it here? And that's what I like to think about. I think about people that just, like, you see my hand, you can't see it no more, right? People are doing that much work That much work, right? And they make it here, maybe. And you got people doing this much work and get mad because they're not here. It don't make sense, bro. It just don't make sense. And it ain't gonna make sense to me. It ain't gonna make sense to me. As far as the Tiana bias episode though, man, we talked about something in the episode that I really, really want to kind of expound on. This is the meat and potatoes of what I want to talk about real here. Where do I start? So when me and Miss Tiana Bias was talking, the defense attorney for the Bias firm, we had a very, very interesting conversation. And something she said, we talked about publications, and I'll be honest with you, I was referring to the J report. I can't speak to whether she was or wasn't speaking of that. I won't put that on her. But for me, I was definitely talking about the J report, right? And I've seen a lot of talk on Facebook and social media just about, the election, right? The election. Oh, Joe Biden dropped out. Oh, we voting for Kamala Harris, you know what I'm saying? Oh, no, I'm voting for Trump, And I just posted something this other day, and I think that's dope. If you're voting, dope. Whether you're voting for it, that's on you. But if you're voting, great. You know what I'm saying? Very, very, very good for you. Good for you. However, I don't want to hear nothing about nobody voting in a presidential election that ain't voting locally, right? I, for damn sure, don't want to hear about nobody voting for the presidential election when I need to understand why are we still following the J report, right? I got to start there. I'm sorry. I just don't understand it. Now, mind you, I don't have no, it's a lie if I say that. I do got a gripe with them. But I don't know the people behind the J report. I know their names probably inside the J report, but guess what? I do not support the J report for my own reasons. I don't wish that on nobody else. You want to support it, that's on you. My problem with the J report is just the way they relay the news. And it's not so much the titles all the time. It's not even so much, I'm going to take that back. It's not the titles, though. But I don't like the media side of what they do. When I say media, I'm talking about videos. I'm talking about pictures. I'm talking about that in that sense. I often wonder this, man. And I've talked about the J report too many times to continue to do this, but it becomes a time where you really want to sit back and think like, okay, well, at this point, they playing with us now. Not even us per se, but they playing now. Now it's on purpose. I wonder how many times per year do people, I want to say we very badly, but I'm going to say people, and I think you guys know what people I'm talking about. How many times per year do people have to complain and say, hey, this person died. Why'd you use this picture? It's 6 to 10 other good pictures on this person's page. What made you use this picture? When they flashing money and guns, or they got a grill and they look like, or they in a club. What made you use this picture? What made you use the picture, why didn't you use the picture when he was graduating high school? Why didn't you use the picture when him and his mom in front of the church? Why didn't you use the picture with his kids? It's like, it happens multiple times a year. And at this point, after the second to third time, with this being a major publication in the city, I would think, this is just me thinking now, this is the manager in me, let's solve this problem by, whenever we post a story and we're going to post a picture, let's let this person approve it before we go ahead and run with it. I don't care what time of day it is, what kind of night it is. That person has to approve it before we release this story, right? People might say, man, that's a smart idea. I know it's a smart idea. I came up with it, right? But it's the thing. In order for that to be an idea, that first has to be a problem to those people putting that story out. And I think that's when you dig a little deeper, that's what it is. I don't think it's a problem to them. I think it's actually a gain to them. I think and I'm just assuming, but I think it's one of them things where it's like, we're gonna do this till enough people get upset, then we'll change the picture and we won't even address it. Cause that's what's been happening. They put this person dying, this bad picture. Everybody complain. They change the picture. Don't say nothing about it. No, not a sorry, not a we apologize, not hey, yeah, that was wrong of us. We're gonna start out with a picture that's gonna tell the audience or our viewers, what's that word Kim May can be using? Our constituents, right? We're gonna tell our constituents the story by posting the victim in this picture and let them make their own judgment. And then we wonder why in the comment section, it's a bunch of racial comments and racial slurs and these people and those people and y'all gone and they know how to act and it's days and it's grouping and it's subgrouping and it's all of that. They the ones pushing that agenda, in my opinion. Because you can like the way how you present a story is going to shape people's mind and how they're gonna view this story. When a drug dealer gets killed, I don't care if they're selling drugs. Like you don't deserve to get killed. When a drug dealer gets killed, or somebody that was doing something wrong gets killed, or they deem to be in illegal activity gets killed, that I don't think that means you have to post a picture of them actually selling drugs. Like that's crazy to me. Like, hey, it's something simple. 25-year-old suspect, 25-year-old, and that's I think how it sounds sometimes. They say 25-year-old suspect, I think the picture be showing that, but young man loses life doing whatever. And then it's a picture and they kind of make you want to say, okay, that young man ain't just a young man, he does this, because now you're judging him based on that picture. But these people be having pictures on their page that are good pictures that will make you think, damn, this is a great citizen. This is a law-abiding citizen. And I think sometimes the way they put out their media, the way they present their stories, it's almost as if they want you to know this wasn't a law-abiding citizen. I'm all for putting it in the comments if you can really prove that. The victim, but I also think that's distasteful too. I think it's distasteful when somebody dies and then in the midst of you putting an article out about somebody dying, you're also saying, well, they got this arrest. Because what does that mean? They lost their life. I don't care how many times they've been arrested. I don't care what they was arrested for. I don't care about their criminal background. Tell me how many kids they had, where they, who they survived by, and find me a couple positive things that people can say about them and put that in there. Somebody lost their life. Let's be for real. And that's my gripe with the jury report. I feel like there's an agenda there, of course, but to get into more detail of what I really wanted to talk about was, last week, I guess a case was, I'm not gonna say solved, but they found some suspects from a murder. Okay, they found the suspects from a murder. I can't even say the jury. I'm gonna throw up saying it. That publication posted about it. With that post also came a video of this man's, the victim, the murder victim, last moments. They showed the gruesome things that were done to him. Again, super distasteful. Insanely distasteful. By far, some nasty work, probably some of the nastiest work I've seen from the jail report. And they removed it after a while. But once again, rinse and repeat. We're going to post it. Let's get you guys angry enough to where we can see a few comments, maybe 100 comments, I don't know. And then we're going to take it down. But our constituents already done seen it, to cast judgment. But aside from that, there has to be somebody there, whether it's a publisher, whether it's an editor, whether it's a manager, head honcho, whatever. Somebody has to have the last say so on what's appropriate and what's not appropriate to post when y'all telling these stories, right? And I say that to say, if posting, it'd be different if those suspects were being sought after. Then I might can understand, because maybe you want to tell the public, hey, if you know anybody in this video, please call. I don't know why I said video that way, but please call this number, or please, I can understand that. These suspects were already in custody. I'm trying to figure out why we need the video for. People have family members. People have loved ones. People have people that care about them. Nobody wants to visually see their loved one being beat to death, taking their last breath because somebody chose to inflict violence upon them. That's not something that people want to see. Not people that love them. Now, I did see some comments in the comment section. I'm not gonna lie. I seen comments saying, "Oh, send me a video." My question is,
wait a minute. Who are you?
My question is why? Why do you want this video? Like, to send it off? Like, why are we? But that's the thing. Like, I think even as my culture, my black people, oh boy, we really got to stop being so nosy. I'm going to just keep it a buck with you. As black people, man, we got to stop being so fucking nosy, man. We got to stop being so nosy. Like, we're extremely too nosy.
Who are you?
Way too nosy. I say that because even with the support that my people give this publication, I feel like it's way too much, for one, too much support. But this is all free information. But we give the support because it's easily accessible and we're nosy. I think the people who make money off of this publication understand that. Mind you, it's not just my people that's nosy. I'm not saying that. But I'm going to say this. Whenever it's my people that are getting the short end of the stick, whether it be the wrong pictures when we're victims, whether it be the wrong pictures when we're only suspects, whether it be the wrong labeling in the title, whether it be the wording of the article, whether we get the front page, long page, our own page, whatever. When I was, years ago, back in, I don't know, I was younger, the jail report had, they had arrested someone I went to school with. I was younger back then. I thought it was funny. I'm not going to lie, right? And this person pleaded with them. Wrote a letter pleading, don't put me in the jail report, don't put me in the jail report. At one time, believe it or not, it was embarrassing to be in the jail report. Like, that was embarrassing at one point. Along with getting exposed with news and getting exposed for cheating and getting exposed for lying, dropping out of high school, losing your job, being unemployed, not having a car, not taking care of your business, not taking care of your kids. Along with those other things, those all used to be things that were embarrassing. All right? Well, welcome to 2024. Okay? But in all seriousness, it was embarrassing at one point. So this person wrote a letter. Hey, boom, boom, don't put me in the jail report. Blah, blah, blah. Pleading. And I should have known something then, but I was young. I just thought it was funny. I was young and dumb. All right? And they put that letter in the jail report the next week with that mugshot saying, this person we had on last week, this is what they said to us. Insane. Thinking back about it now. But then in addition to that, now this is on this person now. They did get arrested for something similar years later down the line. I mean, a year later down the line or something like that. And they were in the jail report again. They made a whole article on this person based off the fact that not only was she in it before, and then she pleaded to get out of there, but hey, she back in here for the same thing again. I wasn't mad at the last one, I'm not gonna lie to you. Okay? I understand it. But I do feel like when it comes with certain age and how they handle certain individuals when it comes to the media and putting this news out and how they word these articles, I had to stop supporting years ago. And on my podcast, what I used to do, I used to have a jail report section. Anybody tell you that they used to listen to my podcast back in 2016, 2017, I would put the Judge Judy music on, and I would read the pieces of the article, and then I give my intake, my piece on how I felt about that article, or how I felt about what that person did in the article. And I think one day I was reading, and I said, "Whoa, like this is." I'm reading it, I'm like, "Hold up, this sounds kind of racist," like, you know what I'm saying? But it was. And then over time, as you grow and you wake up, I think people call it woke now, whatever. But you start to kind of see, okay, it's really unfair. That's not right. And then if something hit home, I had a friend of mine who passed away, and the first picture they posted, he's a victim, a murder victim. And the first picture they posted, grill, pants down, money out. And I'm like, bro, like, are you trying to get people to not sympathize with the fact that a young black man has died? Because when you post pictures that way, when you post a picture of somebody pants sagging and showing money in their grills, and you trying to paint a certain picture of them without even knowing them, you just know they dead. That's insane to me for one. But I also feel like that's a way to try to not only desensitize somebody from feeling a certain way, but you're trying to make them feel a certain way, like to not care. Because the reality of it is, people sometimes don't care when somebody that was into illegal activities pass away. They feel like they got what they deserved. And I feel like knowing this publication's constituents, that's the motive. That's the goal. That's just my thoughts. Now, I could be wrong. I don't think I'm wrong, but I could be wrong. And I would still be open to having a sit down, because I like the publication game. I don't know everything about the publication game. I don't know everything about being a journalist. I don't know everything about it. I don't know if this is supposed to be due diligence. I don't know if it's supposed to be, well, we do it because this person do it. I don't know if it's, I don't know nothing about why this would be a thing, why it's okay to post a video, you know, and you try to think, okay, well, I wonder, would it be the same if it was one of their family members? Would you want to post that video? Or if your cousin, if one of their loved ones passed away, would you want a picture of them at the club drunk with a beer bottle in their hand? Or would you want their high school picture, or, you know, their graduation picture, or, you know, their professional, nice-looking pictures to be posted because you want people to sympathize with the fact that a life was lost? And I feel like I got to answer those questions. Like, I feel like it's rhetorical. I just wonder why, when it comes to, you know, people that got skin like this, close to it, or, you know, a little lighter, who knows, or that identify as African American, Hispanic, you know, minority, why don't we ask those questions? I wouldn't care if they had a department where it's like, hey, anybody that's black, Mexican, Hispanic, Puerto Rican, whatever, that passed away, you have to send the photos to this person to see if they are going to approve it. Get somebody from the culture involved. I don't care. But like I said, first, it has to be identified as a problem. And I don't think the jury report identifies anything to do with a problem. I think they just do it and go with whatever and say, oh, well, if you like it, you like it. If you don't, kick rocks. Because I think the reality is that they feel like we will support them anyway. And I never tell somebody who to support or not to support. Like, support, to me, it's to the point where I look at the jury report as like Republican, Democrat. You know, it sounds crazy saying it. Because I'm not going to tell anybody not to support them. I might wonder why you support them. I want to know why. Tell me why. I would want to know why you're going for Kamala Harris. I would want to know why you're going for Trump. I would want to know why you're voting for Jordan Johnson. I want to know why you're voting for Sheriff Roundtree or didn't vote for Sheriff Roundtree. I want to know that for anybody. The why. I don't mind knowing the why, because your why might be different from my why, or my why not, you know? But it's still educational. I'm cool. I want to know that. I never tell you not to support somebody. I'll be curious with your why. And I'm just curious as to anybody who follows the J report, that follows the page, that likes the page, that shares things from the page. I just want to know why. Like, why do you choose to support the J Report? Why do you choose to share articles from the J Report? Why do you choose to like that page when you could just type it and go to it? If you don't have to. I feel like you don't have to support everything to see everything. It's social media. It's a bunch of things I see that I don't support. I've seen videos of rappers that I don't even like, but I just happen to see them because I was on YouTube, whatever. I don't go subscribe to that person's page. I don't go download that person's music, but I saw their video. I don't support them. I don't have to like a page. I don't have to follow a page to go to view that page if I wanted to view that page. And I would wonder, like, what makes a person, of my people, definitely, but what makes people want to go support the J Report? It may be something cool, something like, not cool, but something very close to home where it's like, well, my kid was missing and they posted this for me and I asked them to post it. I can respect that. Or, hey, this happened and then they posted this and that helped me get that. I can respect that. I just want to know why, because everybody why ain't gonna be that. It's just not possible. Not with the outrage I'll be seeing. Or fake outrage, because
Wait a minute.
I be asking this question
you?
when I see people that are mad at the J Report every other week, every other month. But then I'm looking at the likes and the follows. I'm like, well, why are you liking and follow this page? I don't like, follow, or add nobody I don't fuck with. Like, if I don't like you, I'm not adding you. If I don't like you, I'm not looking up your stuff, not looking at your story, not looking at your page, not looking at your videos, not liking your stuff, not sharing your stuff. I'm not really adding you unless you just happen to really add me, whatever. I'm not like sassy, nothing like that. So I might not unadd you for the most part, but I'm not into it. I'm not doing it. So I'm always curious as to why people want to support the J Report. Now, I did talk to Miss Tiana Bias, and she mentioned how, for some cases, she will go back to like some articles, whether it be the Chronicle, the J Report, whatever, and see the comment section to kind of see how the public is viewing this particular case. I thought that was informative. I thought that was dope to know and to see, because that makes sense. Let's see how the public views this. Okay, well, cool. You have a bunch of a certain ethnic group saying, lock them up. You the defense attorney. This group might not be on a jury. It makes sense, okay? I like that. But I still don't think you have to support. You don't have to go buy it. It's free information. What do you buy? Why are you buying anything? You ain't got to subscribe. It's free information. Why are you buying anything? You ain't got to like the page. It's free information. Like, we don't have to support things that aren't for us. But once again, I won't never tell anybody what to support and what not to support. I just want to know why y'all, whatever, why y'all support it. Like, you'll never catch me ever sharing anything from the J Report. I won't like the page. I don't follow the page. I can go to the page and see something, but every time I do that, I'm reminded of why I don't want to do that. They're very consistent with pissing me off when it comes to stories and news related to my kind of people. They're consistent with that. They're going to consistently piss me off, definitely. A murder victim and got the wrong picture there. Okay, cool. Piss me off. Piss me off, definitely. Then hours later, we changed it. But no apology. Sometimes they don't announce they change it. They just change it. They don't announce it. They just change it. But who approved it at first? Like, how many times during the year this has to happen for you guys to be like, you know what? Hey, look. When it's a murder victim, we're only going to go with this kind of picture, regardless of race, gender, whatever. Like, why can't that be a rule and we just follow it? Why got to be outraged for y'all to change the picture first? And I don't know if that makes y'all get more viewers. I don't know the number or the statistics behind, the J Report's analytics, but I would assume that might get them more followers when they post things like that, because their constituents, whoever that may be, may like that and go follow the page. But I think they incite violence, they incite racism, they incite all of that stuff when they post things like that, and they start to have people have arguments in the comments, and then there's racial slurs, then they going back and forth, and guess what? And guess what to that publication? That's engagement. Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up for them, man. Clap it up for them. Got him.
Wait a
Got
minute.
him.
Who are you?
That's engagement. That's engagement now. So now y'all arguing, y'all calling each other black bitch, cracker, nigga, blah, 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 blah. It's engagement now. Cha-ching. They get their bread. Welcome to America. So, I don't know, man. Support who you want to support. I just want to know the why. I want to know, why are you still? Why are you still? Why have you ever? Why did you ever? What's making you still? What's making you now support the J Report? I just want to know why. I ain't saying you got to stop, but I guarantee you, like, most people can't even tell you why. They liked it a long time ago, just never unliked the page or whatever. And I'm not saying everybody go run an unliked page. I ain't saying that. I just want to know why. Like, what makes you want to support that publication? You got so many other forms of media out here that you can support. You got Kim making a difference, all positivity. You got urban, you got, it's just, I don't know. I also don't want to throw out a bunch of publications then saying, like, to make it seem like it's bitterness, because it's not bitterness. Everybody gonna do what they do. I just wonder what makes a person want to support that type of establishment, that type of publication, that type of behaviors, because it's consistent. It's every year. It's every other month. Every other month. Posting somebody get killed. And it's like they go to the worst picture ever. I want to do, I thought about doing a challenge where I brought my kids. My kids are here with me in the studio right now. I brought my kids here and been like, hey, if I passed away, that's crazy to say to your kids, right? I know I'm out of pocket. If I passed away, what picture of mine would you pick? And I want to know what my 12-year-old would pick and what my 7-year-old would pick. And depending on what they choose to pick, for what they would pick to have an article of their dad that's deceased, I shouldn't say that, I don't speak into existence, but a deceased loved one, and they pick valid pictures, then you can't tell me grown-ass people in media with a widely known publication can't do the same. You're not gonna get me to believe that. It's at this point, it's on purpose. At this point, they want you to get mad. At this point, they're saying a few and spitting in your face and saying, we'll change it later. Right now, our constituents need to know this is who got murdered, not the guy we're going to post another 3 hours once y'all get mad enough to have a change of picture. And that's why they full of shit. J Report is full of shit. But yeah, man, I went on a tangent. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go that hard. Not hard, but I didn't mean to go on a tangent. It's all the time, man. It's just, it gets frustrating. It gets frustrating to be in media and to realize what sells and what people like, what people are willing to support, what people are willing to go hard for, what people jump up to share. And it seems like there's always negativity. I mean, I know negative sells, but I just don't like the blatant disrespect. Now, I'm all for eating if it's negativity. People they're going to like the J Report. They're going to follow it. They're going to support it because they want to know who went to jail. They want to know they want to be first on the scene. Oh my God, there's a shooting here. Oh, somebody died here. And they want to share it. I guess it's awareness at that point, right? We're going to mask it as awareness, whatever. But the blatant disrespect is, I don't know, I drew the line years ago for me. But I feel like they don't care. They don't care. They don't care. But I would definitely be open to I've always told myself I wouldn't be open to interviewing them, but I'll be open to interviewing them because I just need to know. I need to know why. I need to know what goes into when a story actually gets published. And then when something gets published and it's causing outrage, what are you guys doing after that? Besides changing the picture, what happens to the person that posted that picture in the first place? Like, I need to know what's the repercussions for that type of bad decision in media for that publication. I need to know if that's even a problem. Do they see that as a problem that happens? Do they try to avoid that problem? I know the answer is no, because it happens every year, and it's happened too many times in a year. But yeah, man, I ain't gonna spend too much time on that, man. Nothing allowed, man. Yeah.